Boom. Early today. Early to bed, early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little shout out to Benjamin Franklin, American patriot. Oh, man. Well, we're talking about John Cena today. Follow up on last week's video about John Cena. Coward John Cena. Fake fighter John Cena. I don't say that about professional wrestlers because I actually admire professional wrestlers a little bit. I enjoy watching professional wrestling. And I don't know, some of them take that as an insult, but he's a fake fighter because he's willing to grovel before the Chinese Communist Party in order to make money. He's fake. He's a phony. I'm a good American. Salute the flag. Hoorah. No. Nope. I'm going to perform for the troops. And then I'm going to say that Taiwan is not a country. John Cena 6. Welcome, everybody. It's tuning in. Scenic coward? He's not near me, is he? No. Oh, good coward. No Steve Austin. I don't think Steve Austin... I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Steve Austin would have apologized to China and be like, is it called Taiwan a country? No. Cena represents everything that is wrong with the modern culture. A multi-millionaire who only cares about the Chinese when it affects the bottom line. Because if he truly cared about the people, the citizens of China, you'd be calling out genocide and the persecution and killing people and taking their organs. But the sad news, or the good news, depending on your point of view, is that his cowardice didn't work. His cowardice didn't work. Fast and Furious 9, I guess. The 9th movie in that series. Man, I've seen, I think, 3 of them. The first, the second, and the 4th. Third one was Tokyo Drift or something. It didn't have the same characters, and I did not watch that one. What's funny is you see all these articles. If you look it up on a search engine, you're probably going to see the initial box office in China was pretty big, but then this apology didn't help anything. So it went down quite a bit. Well, let's read an article. This is an article here about there we go. Fast and Furious 9 breaks pandemic records but sees poor word of mouth in China. By the way, this is by the Chinese Communist Party's Global Times. This is Chinese propaganda. But there might be some facts in here. You can see in a lot of their propaganda, China is not accepting John Cena and what he apologized for. They've not accepted his apology. And the people of China are like, oh, he's fake. He doesn't actually care about us. He actually thinks Taiwan is a country, so they didn't buy it. So he apologized for nothing. He looked like a coward for nothing. And he deserves to be mocked. He deserves to be forgotten. He deserves to be mocked for his terrible acting. I've never seen a film where he was good. A performance where he was good. He has spent his entire adult life doing professional wrestling, and now he's trying to do acting. It's like, man, just retire. What is wrong with these people? They get the taste of the limelight, and then they can't just fade away. They've got more money than they could ever want. They don't need to work ever again. They've got to live high on the hog. You know, he proposed to a woman legitimately really proposed to her at the biggest event of the year, WrestleMania, one year. They broke up. They never got married. He's a coward when it comes to getting married. He's a coward when it comes to standing up to a regime that has killed, by its policies, hundreds of millions of people directly as a result of its human rights abuse policies. Its direct murder of people or other means. Imagine. I mean, I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to be part of Hollywood if it required that if I called Taiwan a country, I had to go make some groveling apology. There's one video I saw someone showed. I think it was a Korean actress, and the company that she works for is like, oh man, you gotta go apologize. And she's standing in a room. It's like a hostage video. She's holding a prepared remark. She's like, I am sorry for saying Taiwan is a country. It's an epidemic of cowardice. Absolute cowardice. P-Money says, China did nothing wrong, according to the left, besides genocide, forced abortion, unleashing a virus that killed millions around the world. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. They've only been evil their entire existence. They've only been murdering people their entire existence. They've only been persecuting people of different ethnicities. And by persecution, I mean outright murdering them, forcing them into slave labor camps for their entire existence. This isn't something new. This isn't just like, oh, it started with the Uyghurs. The Uyghur Muslims are the first group to be persecuted by China. How could this happen? Here's what happens. In order to maintain power, China has to have a group by which they can drum up patriotism against this group and say, look what we're doing. We're getting rid of these things. And I do mean things instead of people, because that's the way China treats them. It doesn't believe that they have dignity and worth, that they have inherent value, that they have rights because they are human beings created in the image of God. No, 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 no. They don't believe in human rights. The people of Tibet, the people who were practitioners of Falun Gong, a minority religion, and then also now we have the Uyghurs. It's just a different group, same MO. So John Cena is a coward, and his movie's still not going to make as much money as they want. And no matter how you look at it, you're still starring in Fast and Furious 9. I mean, how is that franchise still alive? Because they started showing it in China. There you go. There you go. I don't really know what more to say about John Cena other than that he is a big giant coward. He is a fraud. He pretends to be really care about people. Imagine you go to these hospitals and you appear to all these children for Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff, and you do this for many years, and oh yeah, what a great guy. And the first time you fall on the wrong side of the Chinese government, you go apologizing. Oh no, please forgive me, Chinese Communist Party. Please let my movie play. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I have no desire to be liked by the Chinese Communist Party. Chinese people, ethnic Chinese people, the Han Chinese. Guess what? I love you and care about you. I want the best for you. I want freedom to reign all over China, all over Tibet, all over Hong Kong, all over Macau. I want true prosperity and freedom for you. I genuinely care about you. But your government is evil. All right, what should we talk about now? We got that out of the way. John Cena is a coward, and his cowardice did not save him, and it won't save him, because cowards always lose. They always lose in the long run. Let's see what other news the Global Times has to tell us. Oh man, I'm so glad. This is fantastic news. China to allow couples to have 3 children. It's a step leading to a fertility-friendly society. Chinese propaganda is quite hilarious. China on Monday announced to further lift its family planning policy to allow each couple to have up to 3 children after the number of the country's newborns declined for 4 years straight. A major policy shift from the current 2-child policy. Don't have that 4th one, though. Or you'll be required to have an abortion. Don't get pregnant with that 4th child. Hollywood will never recover. Originality and creativity is dead for now. You know, there's a lot of new independent stuff. I know people that I've worked with in the past doing video production stuff who are making alternative platforms, and they've got some. It's not just like, oh, well, we're going to have a new platform and it'll have good content, but then nothing ever produces. I know for a fact that they're working with some fantastic talent that you no doubt have heard of these people, at least some of them, and they're making it. So it's going to be awesome. I've talked to both the guy that is launching the streaming service / content producer. It's called lore.tv, LOOR.tv. And I've talked to also some content producers that are going to make stuff on it. So you can follow that for when it comes out. So there will be alternatives. There'll be alternatives. And that'll be a good thing. Hollywood has long had the power. And the bottom line is we don't have to kowtow to them anymore. We don't have to give them our money. We don't have to go to them for entertainment. There are people who are, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time. The infrastructure needs to get built, but there are companies that are making movies. I watched the Daily Wire movie Run, Hide, Fight a few months ago. They made, or at least released, the distributors of the film. I thought pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. If that's the type of content that we can expect from them, then that is exciting. It's going to be stuff worth watching. Unfortunately, right now, most of it is with their service is just political content, not much fictional original stuff. But when it comes to wrestling, I haven't watched wrestling consistently in a few years. Hi, buddy. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Oh. I really enjoyed Run, Hide, Fight, though. I wanted a little more Thomas Jane in it. Yeah. He was really good in the film. Thomas Jane is an actor who doesn't get enough roles. He plays the grizzled veteran pretty well. I remember the Punisher movie that he was in was pretty decent. Pretty decent. For a Punisher film, it was probably the best film of the Punisher. The TV show on Netflix was all right. But I thought he did a pretty good job in that. And then also in Run, Hide, Fight, he did really well. All the actors in that did really pretty good. Quality acting and directing. Dust on YouTube. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to check that out. Final days for Jeff Smith's 2. Oh, thanks, Hervoge. You're always coming in with the links. Let's see this. Man, he's a good artist. What was the one from Dave Sim, Hervoge? Yeah, it was really intense. I don't think I'd want to watch it again. That film. It's not really one that you want to rewatch and experience, but it was intense. I'll say that. Captured a lot of those feelings pretty well, I would imagine. Of course, it got the critics, oh, this is heinous. How could you make a film about school shooter? All right, whatever. The Strange Death of Alex Raymond ended a week. Oh, no. Too bad. So sad. I'll never get to read Dave Sims' comic. Oh, it's on Amazon. I can just buy it on Amazon. Let me see this art. Wow. Did Dave Sim draw this? Some of it. Wow, that's fantastic. I'm actually really interested in this. I wish I'd looked at this before. I mean, but I can just buy it on Amazon, so. Dust is short quality sci-fi movies. Yeah, cool. I'm a big sci-fi person. I love Star Trek and other such things. You know what I would like to see is sort of a Twilight Zone type show. It doesn't have to be called Twilight Zone. In fact, it probably shouldn't be, because every time they've tried to do a new Twilight Zone, it's not the same. It doesn't have Rod Serling in it. But anthology shows like that, science fiction, fantasy, the weird, the macabre, those things work really well, and it doesn't need to be controlled by Hollywood, because you can do those things on a low budget. Just do short 22-minute film about that length, and you don't, I mean, anybody could really make it. If you've got a phone that has a camera on it, you could make a film. Just gotta practice. How much does it cost on Amazon? $39.95. I don't know why my dog is barking. I don't even know if you can hear it. Probably. There's the link on Amazon. Yeah. Man. I'd like to see some of this. I'm excited for these companies that are starting their own productions. Independent. Totally independent of Hollywood, of Netflix, of any of these companies. And they're going to put out content. I'm excited to see it. And I hope that they actually do a good job. That's the thing that really, you got to make quality, because it's only going to last so long. You're only going to get sympathy bucks for so long before you actually have to produce quality. What's good? It's the same price, I guess. They're probably, I don't know which one they're making more money on. Who knows? Oh my word. This is a fantastic article. Let's take a look at this one. Scientists prepare rebuttal letter to science on virus lab leak theory. Yikes. Let's respond to science. Absolute nonsense to let intelligence agencies do work of scientists. Because intelligence agencies don't have scientists in them. They can't utilize scientists to get their information. A number of preeminent epidemiologists and scientists in China and overseas, which ones, said it's absolute nonsense to let intelligence agencies lead COVID-19 origins tracing work. You know, China, this all could have been cleared up if you were just honest right at the beginning. But I'm guessing you didn't want to because you had something to hide. Well, China. What can you do? What can you say? They are one of the worst countries on the planet. One of the worst governments on the planet. I like the people of China. Don't like their government. And maps of origin and common sense is enough proof for me. Yeah. Hey, guys, I want to tell you about this virus that happened. You see, it started in this wet market with all these animals. Somewhere in there is where it developed. And it has nothing to do with the lab where they were experimenting on coronaviruses a few hundred yards away. They're totally unrelated. They totally don't have anything to do with each other. The wet market is where it originated, or somewhere else, or maybe, well, no, actually, maybe it was frozen foods. Maybe it was the U.S. military. China can't keep their story straight. They can't because they're lying, obviously. They want everybody to be blamed but themselves. Ridiculous. My word. The thing is, it's easy to get mad at, or to think that the Chinese people are just really stupid, and they're like, oh, well, how could they hate John Cena? Clearly he's trying to do his best, and they just go off on him even though he's trying to apologize, or this, or like, they'll rally behind these stories. And you're like, how can they not know that these stories contradict themselves? Well, you have to consider that China has a social credit score that if you are on social media and you violate certain rules, you can lose your social credit score in the country, and it has actual ramifications, like not being able to rent property, not being able to have housing. So if you break the rules in China, they have real world what's it called? What's that word I'm looking for? Help me out here. Consequences. There we go. Real world consequences to your actions. We're not talking about you go break into a house and steal something. No, we're talking about you say something wrong on social media. There is an MMA fighter who challenged these old like kung fu masters and all these people, said, oh, I have mystical powers. And this Chinese MMA fighter from China, he would challenge them to fights, and obviously he would win, and he would call them cowards and say they were fake. And he got punished for it because he was demeaning the Chinese culture by exposing frauds. Somehow saying the Chinese eating bats is causing the virus is less racist. Well, I mean, here's the thing. There was this meme going around where all these Chinese people were posting on social media, Chinese don't eat dogs. Chinese people don't eat dogs. But they legitimately do eat dogs. There are lots of places and markets in China where you can buy dogs to eat. Stalls selling cooked dogs to eat right there. Why? What does it matter? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a big dog person. I couldn't possibly eat a dog. No, I don't think there's plenty of better meat out there. And they don't treat those animals very humanely. You can look up videos of it. But what's racist about it? Why are you lying about eating dogs? Are you embarrassed of eating dogs? Then how about start a campaign within your country to get people to stop eating dogs? The consequences will never be the same. Somehow, yeah, I don't know. Who cares if they eat bats? Who cares? We eat fake food, processed, devoid of nutrients. We shove our faces full of wheat, corn syrup. Is that worse than eating a bat? I don't know. Bat worse? We'll never know. You care? Give you the recipe? I don't have the recipe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, jalapeno milk. I don't have the recipe. I've never eaten a dag. Any tofu fans? No soy boys around here. I love to eat tofurkey on Thanksgiving, personally. I don't know about y'all. Let's see, what's another Chinese propaganda article? Let's see, sport. Sport. Tell me what's happening in sport. Suns bounce back to pull even in series. Thank God. I'm not watching the NBA, even though I am a Suns. I don't want to say fan anymore because I hate the NBA. but I once cheered for the Suns quite a bit. So, I mean, I guess I should be glad that they're not out of the playoffs yet. And I just hope they beat LeBron James. Oh, that's all I want is LeBron James to lose. Come on, Suns. Come on, Suns. Thanks, Chinese propaganda, for telling me about that. Oh yeah, Chelsea wins the Champions League in soccer, including American Christian Pulisic, who is the second American to win the Champions League and the first one to actually play in the Champions League final. He almost scored a goal. Almost. Only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Christian Pulisic, so got to try harder. That's probably going to be his only Champions League win, though, I'm guessing. All right. That wasn't as propaganda-y as I was hoping for. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Let's see this one. Get your ad off of here, China. West's genocide shows it cannot hold a moral high ground. Oh, you mean things that happened over 100 years ago, China? Not today? Not right now? This is a really sad story, though. That there was this legitimate, just heinous crimes against humanity that happened in Canada in a school where it's estimated that possibly thousands of people died of malnutrition, or at least are affected by malnutrition. And they found a mass grave of 215 of these, they call First Nation Indigenous people in Canada. It's actually really a terrible story. But China leaves no horrible event unpropagandized. They're going to use this to say the West is terrible. And then they're going to go down to Rwanda and say, oh, Rwanda was the responsibility of France, which Emmanuel Macron on Thursday admitted French responsibility for the 1994 genocide. You got to be kidding me, man. It had nothing to do with the Hutu and the Tutsi, huh? It was the French's fault? I mean, it probably was France's fault. Let's be honest. They're responsible for most terrible things in the world. But that was stupid, Macron. Anyways, you can see the Chinese propaganda. I don't recommend going and reading it very often. But they don't let any tragedy go unused. Oh, geez. Is that tomorrow? That's what we have to follow up Memorial Day for? I'm going to do a video right now. Guys, don't talk. I'm going to do a video, and then I'm going to clip it out and post it on Upon the Chaos. Let me just pull up the words I was going to speak. Don't talk. Hey, I said be quiet. You guys get a sneak preview. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Calm down. All right, here we go. I appreciate the sentiment, but please don't thank me for my service on Memorial Day. Memorial Day isn't a day to recognize veterans. It is a day to reflect on and remember those who have died in service to this country. Well, I am humbled by just how many people want to thank me. Messed it up. While I am humbled by just how many people want to thank me for my service every Memorial Day, it's not actually what the holiday's about. Instead of thanking a veteran, take time to pray for peace and remember to think about the cost of freedom. Memorial Day isn't my holiday. Veterans Day is a holiday where you can thank me. I was blessed enough to serve in the military without facing any combat whatsoever. Not all Americans have been so fortunate, and many of them died in service to other citizens of this great nation. Let's remember them and honor their sacrifice. Boom. No, I don't have to do that later. Just put it out. Put out that video when I'm done with this. I'll just have to cut out the part where I go because I got tongue-tied. Yeah, I always felt it uncomfortable. Like, I remember at church I used to go to, they would be like, oh, well, we only want to celebrate one day a year for veterans, so let's do it on Memorial Day. And like, what are you... First of all, why are we celebrating Memorial Day at church? Unless it's just to pray for our country in general. Why are we honoring veterans? I never liked that. I didn't like it when they're like, oh, let's honor our first responders. Everyone stand up in church. Oh, how about preach the gospel? How about tell us about Jesus? Him crucified for our sins. Resurrection on the third day. Salvation by grace through faith alone. No? Okay. Anyways, that is about 30 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up here. If you do not subscribe, if you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe, like. I don't know how you got here if you're not subscribed to this channel, honestly. Maybe we're just looking up live streams in John Cena. John Cena live stream, and you found this? I highly doubt it. I have another channel, Upon the Chaos, for like politics. I talk about it over there. Otherwise, guys, we're going to have content daily on both channels. FlyFox, unless I miss a day. Give me a break. On FlyFoxPro, at least. But content just about every single day on FlyFoxPro. Either movie breakdowns like what we had today with The Great Escape, or the other day with John Wayne in Stagecoach and The Searchers. We're going to have that kind of content. We're going to have longer form stuff. If you haven't checked out my most recent reviews, we had the Ewoks review and the Godzilla movies review. Those are funny. People liked those. Go watch those. Thank you, Thomas Berger. I'm glad that Doug Tenaple led you to me, because that means I get more viewers and I get to interact with more people, and it's still fun to make this content. And thank you for coming over here, by the way. Not everybody from Upon the Chaos comes over here, so you're one of the lucky few. But if you want to see me sort of poke fun at the Ewok movies that I actually enjoyed, and the Godzilla movies, the recent Godzilla movies, those videos are ones you want to check out. Also, we have all these other movie breakdowns we've been doing for a while. You can find those playlists. There's all kinds of old content. It's only going to get better from here. Only going to get better from here, I would hope. If you guys want to see me do a movie breakdown on maybe your favorite scene, and maybe I have something to say, but I won't guarantee anything, because there might not be something I have interesting to say about that particular scene. And don't pick crazy things. Don't pick stupid things. But if you guys want to see me do one of those videos on something you like, why don't suggest it in the comments? Adios. That's right. Adios. Hey, I said adios. Get out of here. Get out of here.